Paris is one of those cities whose image seems instantly familiar, even to people who have never visited it. The Eiffel Tower, café terraces, grand boulevards, museum halls, fashion houses, and bridges over the Seine have all become part of a global idea of urban elegance. But Paris is not just a postcard. It is the capital and largest city of France, with an estimated city population of about 2.04 million within only 105.4 square kilometers. That makes the city itself compact and dense. Beyond its official boundaries, however, Paris expands into a much larger metropolitan region of about 13.2 million people, making it one of the great urban centers of Europe. To understand Paris, you have to look past the monuments and see how geography, politics, culture, infrastructure, and history all came together in one unusually influential place. The location of Paris is central to its story. The city sits on the River Seine, in the middle of the Île-de-France region. Rivers have shaped many major cities, and Paris is no exception. The Seine helped connect the city to trade, movement, food supplies, and regional power. Over time, the riverbanks became not only practical spaces but symbolic ones. Government buildings, museums, historic bridges, and stone quays turned the Seine into a kind of living timeline. Parts of the city along the river have been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1991, recognizing how architecture, urban planning, and landscape blend together there. In Paris, the river is not simply scenery. It is an organizing spine, a historical archive, and one of the reasons the city became a capital of lasting importance. Paris is often called the City of Light, and the nickname carries more than one meaning. It partly refers to the city's role in the Age of Enlightenment, when Paris became a major center for philosophy, science, publishing, and political debate. Ideas about reason, rights, government, and society circulated through salons, universities, cafes, and printed works. But the nickname also fits the city's later visual identity: illuminated avenues, glowing monuments, and public spaces designed for visibility and display. Since the 17th century, Paris has been one of the world's major centers of finance, diplomacy, commerce, culture, fashion, and gastronomy. Its power has never depended on one industry alone. Instead, Paris built influence by combining state authority, artistic prestige, luxury production, intellectual life, and international networks. The official city is divided into 20 arrondissements, or districts, arranged in a spiral pattern often compared to a snail shell. This administrative structure is more than a bureaucratic map. Each arrondissement has its own personality, landmarks, rhythms, and local identity. Some are associated with government buildings and grand institutions, others with nightlife, immigrant communities, shopping streets, student life, or residential calm. This division helps explain why Paris can feel both unified and fragmented. A short walk can shift the atmosphere from monumental stone facades to narrow medieval streets, from luxury storefronts to neighborhood markets. The arrondissements give Paris a layered quality, one city, but many local worlds. For residents, these districts are not just numbers. They are cultural reference points that shape daily life. Much of the Paris people recognize today was shaped by one of the most ambitious urban transformations of the 19th century, Haussmann's renovation of Paris. Under Napoleon III, Baron Georges-Eugène Haussmann led a vast redesign of the city. Medieval streets were replaced or cut through by wide boulevards. New parks, squares, sewers, public buildings, and infrastructure changed how the city functioned and how it looked. The transformation created the Paris of long perspectives, uniform apartment facades, tree-lined avenues, and monumental intersections. It was praised for modernizing circulation, hygiene, and public life, but it also displaced communities and reshaped the social geography of the capital. This is why Paris became known as a kind of capital of the 19th century. It showed how a city could be redesigned as both a machine for movement and a stage for power. Paris is not only a historic city, it is a major transportation hub. Railways, motorways, airports, and public transit connect it to France, Europe, and the wider world. Charles de Gaulle Airport, serving the Paris region, was the busiest airport in the European Union in 2024, showing the city's continuing global role. But within the city, one of the strongest symbols of movement is the Paris Metro. Its Art Nouveau entrances have become icons in their own right, turning infrastructure into design heritage. The metro helped make dense urban life practical by linking neighborhoods, workers, visitors, and institutions across a compact city. Paris is also known for having one of the world's most sustainable transportation systems and is one of only 2 cities to receive the Sustainable Transport Award twice. Its mobility story is about both elegance and efficiency. Museums are central to Paris's global identity. The city is known for institutions that preserve and interpret art across many periods, especially French and European art. The Musée d'Orsay, housed in a former railway station, is famous for its collections linked to 19th-century art and Impressionism. The Musée Marmottan-Monet and the Musée de l'Orangerie are also important for understanding Impressionist painting, including the changing treatment of light, color, atmosphere, and modern life. These museums do more than display beautiful works. They help explain how Paris and France became central to debates about what art could be. Impressionism, once controversial, is now one of the most beloved art movements in the world, and Paris remains a key place to encounter its history in depth. Paris's artistic importance did not stop with Impressionism. The city also became a crucial center for modern and contemporary art. The Musée National d'Art Moderne holds major collections that reflect the experiments of the 20th and 21st centuries. The Musée Rodin focuses on one of the great sculptors of modern art, whose expressive forms changed how the human body could be represented. The Musée Picasso highlights the work of an artist deeply connected to Paris's creative world, even though he was born in Spain. These institutions show Paris as a city of artistic transition, from classical traditions to modern rupture, from salons to avant-garde movements, from royal collections to public museums. The city's cultural power comes partly from its ability to preserve the past while also hosting disruption. Paris is also the seat of French political power. The President of France works in Paris, and both houses of the French Parliament sit there. This gives the city a central role in national decision-making, lawmaking, diplomacy, and public debate. Capital cities often concentrate symbolic authority, but Paris does so with unusual historical weight. It has been the setting for revolutions, republics, imperial ambitions, demonstrations, reforms, and national ceremonies. Its streets and buildings are tied to the political imagination of France. When events happen in Paris, they often feel national in scale because the city stands as a visible stage for the state itself. This political role also reinforces the city's international importance, since embassies, organizations, and diplomatic networks cluster around the capital. The global role of Paris is visible in the number of international organizations based in or around the city. It is home to UNESCO, the United Nations agency connected with education, science, culture, and heritage. It also hosts or neighbors major organizations such as the OECD, the International Energy Agency, the Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie, the International Federation for Human Rights, and the International Bureau of Weights and Measures in nearby St. Cloud. European bodies also have a presence, including the European Space Agency, the European Banking Authority, and the European Securities and Markets Authority. This matters because Paris is not only a cultural capital, it is a working center of global governance, technical coordination, economics, rights advocacy, scientific standards, and international cooperation. Sport adds another layer to the city's identity. Paris hosts major events such as the French Open, one of tennis's 4 Grand Slam tournaments, played on the clay courts of Roland Garros. The city is also home to Paris Saint-Germain, one of the most recognizable football clubs in Europe, and Stade Francais, a major rugby union club. These teams and events turn Paris into a stage for both local passion and international audiences. The city has also hosted the Summer Olympics 3 times, in 1900, 1924, and 2024. That Olympic history connects Paris to more than a century of global sport, urban spectacle, and international gathering. In a city already known for monuments and museums, sport provides a different kind of collective energy. So what makes Paris so influential? It is not just population size, although its metropolitan region is enormous. It is not just beauty, although its urban design is famous. Paris matters because it combines many forms of power in one place: political authority, cultural prestige, transportation networks, international institutions, historic architecture, artistic collections, fashion, food, finance, and symbolic meaning. Its compact city center holds layers from medieval streets to Haussmann boulevards, from riverfront heritage to modern museums, from national government to global agencies. The result is a city that operates at several scales at once: neighborhood, national capital, European metropolis, and world icon. Paris is not simply a destination. It is a model, a memory, a brand, and a living capital still shaping how cities imagine themselves. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.